Despair! 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 Give into your despair! Release your kindness for humanity!
Lucky?
Yes?
You okay? Hey, you
Yep.
okay there, buddy?
Of course I'm okay. I'm just trying to convert these people into, I don't know, performing the 5-leaf Grimoire ritual. And so far it's not working out too well.
Huh. Alright. Carry on.
Well, I have been on this for about a good couple hours, and I'm getting nowhere with it. Oh well. Try once, try twice, try 3 times, and then you're just like, okay, take a break. But,
Well, you know, we all need breaks. And who to say? Maybe a 15th try, it will come through. It will come.
that is definitely possible. You know, speaking of that, we got something to talk about. Actually, we got 2 things. So, number 1, hey guys, what's up? It's me, Lucky Chi, back again for another Black Clover podcast. And, of course, you know, with the chapter out, there's been a lot. Like, it's always been for the past, I don't know, I want to say 6 chapters? Maybe even more than that. We've been getting crazy stuff. And also we got...
It has been crazy since the devil has come out. I'm sorry. I'm just a little excited to talk about this.
No. That's true. That's true. But also we got something from Tabata himself, which is something we're going to cover when we reach the end of the chapter. But in saying that, you guys all know when it comes to these podcasts, I can't really do them by myself. I mean, theoretically, I could, but what fun would it be just having me here, like every other YouTuber, just giving their thoughts on the chapter, giving their review, and calling it a good day, when I could just be sitting here talking about that chapter with a friend. So, of course, as you've heard earlier, as I was being interrupted by my ritual, I have with me a special friend and a special guest. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Greetings, fans. It's me once again, Sparda3g. I have to stop him or support him. I'm not sure where I'm going. Maybe I wanted more 5-leaf clovers. Maybe I want more destruction, despair. Ooh, despair. But enough about that. We're going to talk about more of the recent chapter. That has been a hell of a ride. And so far, going to 200 chapter, it's looking damn promising. And I got to say, this is still amongst like either the top 2 or even the first place of like the most interested, most invested I have with the Shonen Jump weekly releases, and that's saying a lot. So yeah, is that thrilling? I'm just shocked how much I have been following this, how much of my opinion has changed since the beginning. Because in my impression, I never called it like it is the worst of manga, but I can see why it's considered as one. That being said, I never see it as one. For myself, I never interpret it as one, but I could say there's a lot of potential to behold. Now we're seeing a lot, and we continue to see more of that. And the stuff that has been going on with the current arc, the interview that just recently not leaked out, but more like posted up. We're gonna go cover that as well. But other than that, it's been a hell of a ride. I'm really impressed by Tabata as of late.
Same.
What about you?
I'm honestly just really impressed with what he's been capable. And I mean, I've kind of been noticing this, and I think I mentioned in the first podcast, but I've kind of been noticing it since the Water Temple arc, but I feel it's more so been showing a lot more coming off from the Royal Knights exam when it comes to like build up and foreshadowing. Like even with this current arc, I mean, with the Valkyrie dress, with Asta, like even right now with Asta and Yuno and Charmy, which I'm still crazy, and this whole devil, I'm like, what? Like, I still can't get over that.
I'm amazed how, like, when you look at the first impression, you would think, oh no, Black Zetsu again, no. But the more the more chapter keeps going, the more you start to see every.
It's Kaguya
Yeah. Oh God, no, none of that. But I haven't seen that same person. I mean, maybe he's still there. Maybe I'm just didn't look thoroughly. But all I know is a lot of people are really, really liking this development, especially how a lot of things are starting to connect together. And even in this chapter, there's more dots to connected. It's I'm being impressed by Tabata's work, mainly because this is technically okay. I know Hungry Joker came first. I know that's his real first work, but it never went further because got canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're starting to see what Tabata can do as a person who can go on for more than 150 chapters. Because again, you see a lot of series that starts to fall out, but like, damn, you did a lot of good things in the beginning, but I think you feel like you're trying to find a new ground and you can't find that ground.
Like one other particular.
I mean,
which I'm not gonna name.
Right. Right. I mean, it could. I mean, it could still happen to Tabata maybe after this arc, but who knows? But I'm just more impressed how not only he has been establishing answers to the questions that we've been either asking for or something that we didn't think we were asking about it, but it was good. It's definitely good to know about it. But also, it's like he's leaving a lot of details that
he's leaving more room to like expand upon like the world and all that.
Exactly. Stuff. Yeah, and I think this arc, this chapter, is the same case, but we have to see how it goes too. But yeah, I think we should either talk about this or what do you want to do?
I would say let's just go ahead and just dive right into the chapter because wow, for the people who were like, dude, if Asta, are able to take out the devil, this is gonna be some massive bullshit. I already knew that wasn't gonna happen. I was like, look, that devil is too much of a schemer to just get killed off like that. It's like I'm blanking the quote that Joker used in Dark Knight, but it's kind of along those lines. Like, you know what? They're all schemers, but we're all planners. So something along those lines. It's been a long time since I've seen that.
I forgot how it's quoted too. That's one of the quotes that you hardly hear from people. It's always usually the "and here we go." That one, yeah. Or the "why so serious?" Of course, but that one doesn't come across through the web as a meme. So I forgot how it goes myself. Maybe if I can find it right now, you could. Yeah, let me try to see if I can.
Yeah. So the tag's going through. It's like, oh, what does this do as a tag? And then we got the chapter title, which is the 5-leaf clover Grimoire. Which, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, wait a minute, are we gonna get some stuff on Asta? Because remember, there is a devil that resides in there, so maybe it could be that. Which I remember when the spoilers came out. I didn't necessarily check them out right away because I wanted to read the chapter first and then check it out. And supposedly the spoilers were referring to the devil from Asta's Grimoire and then the devil we see right now, and kind of like hinting at maybe there's a connection. I mean, we're still getting that here. There's still more kind of a connection here, but I was like, oh, so guys, that's cool. That being said, of course, we see Pottery, who's still kind of skewed up as the devil over here. Just says heal. All he says is heal, and then the slash mark that he received is like all gone. He's like laughing about it, and and Asta are like, you're kidding. Like the attack we just made, like it's just completely gone now. And the devil just says like,
I thought it was gonna be a one-shot kill.
I know, much to some people's dismay, like, oh no, they weren't able to take him down. He is kind of, I don't want to say broken, but powerful. That's one way to put it.
I mean, hey, look, if he's going to be like the final villain, if he is, or at least just a villain, he has to be powerful. And he has to. This is the first time we see a demon with our own eyes. Asta doesn't count because he's like partial. So that's like, we already know how scary a demon can be in this series, or at least in a partially. Now we see like a full-fledged, not complete demon, which is, similar as partial, but this is like his own entity. Yeah, this is like his own entity. So we're seeing like the first showcase. We're slowly seeing a half dwarf and a half human, but we changed the scene because maybe Tabata doesn't want us to see more of or the power scale with Charmy. I'm not sure about the other characters. Every other one is pretty much elf versus human, same old deal. In this case, this is a demon. This is the first time we see a demon that can say literally anything and it will actually come true. I was under the impression he could only do offense attack, but the fact that he could do support attacks like heal, like that's just crazy. It's like the scariest thing now. Like, okay, now he could actually heal himself as well. Again, I thought he could only do offense because he did none but offense. Then he's like, oh, I got a cut. All right, heal yourself, and that's it. Everything comes to
like, oh,
everything was null and void.
And he just like snapped his fingers and just okay, there, all healed up.
It's like, wow, okay. It's like I think the first thing we should go against, should go for is his throat, just not to make him talk. Like, stop talking. That's what I would have thought of. Right?
Or just chuck Thanos in there, and be like, okay, fine, snap fingers and just get rid of him right off.
Well, that would be, that would be nice right about now. But of course,
you would think.
Don't know if there's, I don't know if gemstones that exist in this world.
Honestly.
Or at least the Thor hammer, that new one he has in Infinity War. At least that will help too.
I mean, if we get dwarves, then the possibility of, I'm not saying that exact hammer, but something along those lines could be possible. If we have,
it could be possible.
If we get like introduction to like orcs and Vikings and all those other mythical characters that people have been predicting about.
Yeah, we're gonna be like saying like, well, we already saw Elf right now. We'll see what happens afterward. It's like, because like this, they all, well, not all, but majority of them are dead. So let's see what happens afterward. The dwarf, they only said that they haven't been seen in a long time, but Charmy kind of rejected that idea. So we're probably gonna see more dwarf somehow, some way. Maybe they're gonna travel somewhere. I guess this is right about a good time to do that. I mean, we haven't seen anything with Charmy like side of the story. We're just starting to see more and more pieces coming together. And Charmy didn't even know herself. Like, wait a minute, I'm a dwarf.
Her reaction.
She's like, wait, I'm a dwarf.
You can talk.
Yeah, you can talk. You're not sheep. It's like, what the hell is going on with this world? First it was hell. Now it's like even more hell. But yeah, like you see a lot of you see a lot of like scenarios that can be explored in the future. So with a demon, it depends what happens with this demon. Like if he escapes, if he somehow come for another day, then he probably be the final villain. Kind of like that. I forgot his name. That one big character, one big villain back in Soul Eater. He was introduced way early.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's like it wasn't his arc, but it focused around him a bit. But then when he shows up for real, it's like, oh damn, this is what the capability can be. Yikes, So this is like the case with the demon. And I can't say I'm 100% certain that is going to be the case with this one, but this chapter does help out a lot when we get to that. So, yeah.
Here's a fun fact right before I continue the chapter, because I'm at the wiki right now. And the last couple of volumes have been like 11 chapters long. Because volume 18 ends at 172, right? Mm-hmm. And then chapter 19 ends at 183. So if we're still going by that format, do you want to take a guess at where volume 20 is going to end at?
200?
Actually, no. Volume 20 is going to end at 194, which is when we get that revelation.
Yeah, that's a good timing, actually.
It is.
Yeah, it's a good timing. Definitely good timing. So, oh my god, I gotta read the next chapter. I want to eat some vitamin.
For the carbs. I forget the actual line now, but it was something along the line like carbs.
It was like for the carbs, for the I
Protein.
gotta check again. For the vitamins, for the minerals, for the dietary fiber. Oh god. But
I'm not gonna go with
yeah. So yeah, but back to this chapter.
Yeah, back to the chapter. So the devil's like, so you were able to wound me, were you? An elf loved and favored by mana as well as the power of a spirit. And then, of course, with Asta, and the owner of the Grimoire that should have been mine. The power of these two fellow meddlers. I'm a term you haven't heard in quite a long time. I don't know
It
what.
depends on the Viz translation.
That too, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of devil you are or where you came from, but you're going to hand that grimoire over. And of course, you have Valtos and is it Radis? I'm gonna assume it's Radis or Rades. Rades. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. I think that's how you say his name. But yeah, those are the two guys that used to work on the Lich, and they wanted revenge.
I know.
And now they see this is like, yeah, scratch that.
Like, what the fuck? Like, what is that thing up there? It's like just like how we were used by Lit. Was Lit also being used by it too? It's like,
don't worry, the devil will be used by someone else too now. It'll be the pain.
It's like a power within a power within a power within. I'm like, no.
Then if that were to happen, then I could understand the fans. I'm like, okay, yeah, you win this one. We got Pain, then Obito, then Amadara, then and then some ramen guy.
I know, and this is where we get that revelation because the devil's like, when the owner of a 4-leaf grimoire is swallowed up by despair, and then we see Rihas like just saying, Patri, the 5-leaf grimoire is born, and dude, I'm not gonna lie, when I read those two panels, I was just sitting there going like, holy shit, that wow, that is crazy.
Oh, indeed is. You know, the funny thing is I didn't look at the chapter title. I was like on a train ride to work, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't know there's a new chapter for Black Clover." What? So I decided to read it. I completely missed the chapter title, so I didn't even know the chapter title was called the 5-Leaf Clover Grimoire. I'm like, oh, I didn't see if I read that, I would have been like, this is gonna be interesting. But instead, it caught me off guard. Like, what? This is what the story is about now.
You're like, what?
I am shocked.
I know, and then you've got the devil over here just going like, at last, I have both the physical body and the grimoire of darkness. I can now manifest myself into the real world as the devil with my original form and power. Which, of course, you got like Yuno and Asta like, shit, this isn't gonna turn out well. And then we get some more stuff from the past. It's like 500 years ago, everything had gone perfectly, and I gave birth to the Grimoire of Despair. But at the very last moment, there was resistance. That's why this time, through the forbidden spell of reincarnation, I had his soul tainted and infused with wickedness and evil to his very being, easier to steal. All you need to do is be the good little stepping stone you are and let me walk all over you on my way to ascension. Like, to steal from an empty heart is truly just this simple. All for the sake of this moment. I have deceived, killed, and stolen. Oh, it was so fun. And he's like, wait, what? Like straight up, that happened? To which Ass is charging, and he's like, you bastard! Of course, Devil's like, unfortunately, I am not your opponent. Let loose your rage, the fate of an elf whose heart has been overrun by evil. And Rihas is noticing, like, Patri, a dark elf, a complete and utter slave to their hatred and despair. So, yeah, basically, when it comes to the whole 5-leaf clover grimoire and its creation, it's like basically the owner of a 4-leaf grimoire. Once they give into a mass amount of despair, then not only does the grimoire change, but they ultimately become influenced by hate and rage and sorrow and all that good stuff. Which, yeah, it's pretty crazy if you ask me. Sparda, what was your thoughts?
On the dark elf, or just everything in general?
Everything in general.
The five leaf clover is very interesting. I mean, like, I should have seen this coming in a sense, like, oh, it comes from the 4th leaf clover, but it still feels shocking, mainly because now we could see more possibility of like more users of 4-leaf clovers that could undergo to the deep despair. Like, technically speaking, Yuno will have could do it. I mean, so long you just go batshit crazy, but that's all on his call. That's the scary thing. He could form a 5-leaf on himself, but of course that's just asking for the worst case scenario. But yeah, it's interesting because like I'm still like, it still hasn't addressed why in fact Asta has the 5-leaf clover grimoire, let alone the fact it comes from Lich himself. Why is, I'm a bit shocked, but at the same time I'm a bit happy, mainly because this is kind of like a secret that should be continued to postpone until like whatever is necessary. And they only keep us very invested with the character, Asta himself, since we're like lately we've been getting more and more details about the lore itself, from the 5-leaf clover, where it comes from, why Asta carries this, the demon inside, which it still hasn't 100% explained. But that makes it more interesting to me if you're gonna have a series going on for a long time. I don't mind this. I mean, if we do get some like revelation, like, oh, you're the reincarnation, even though that's just stupid. Well, actually, it won't be that stupid. It depends how it works. It all depends how it works. Because again, with Asta and Yuno, they came at the same time, by drop off at the orphan by an unknown person or unknown something in general. So we don't know much of them. But again, we're starting to learn more of the outside of the character aspect. We're learning more about the Grimoire thing. And now we know that the 5-leaf clover is like, it's always meant to be like a bad thing. It's always meant to be the devil, darkness, demon, whatever you want to call it. Asta probably just got lucky that it was hand me down. At least that's the way how it's addressed so far. Why is that? Then it hasn't been addressed. So, but yeah, I gotta
touch on that because
yeah,
I've noticed on like Reddit and stuff where there's a theory going around that like the Grimoire of Despair was drawn to Asta because when he came across that guy who was trying to take, Grimoire, and he was like down talking Asta about not getting anywhere, and, like kind of like not getting anywhere in life, not being able to get a Grimoire, and that kind of being Asta's low point, and because of that, that's what was able to draw the Grimoire to him specifically. But that's just a theory that I've been hearing.
I mean, the first villain ever is here, so you do the math.
I know.
It's still funny to me. Well, not funny, but more like kind of pretty shocking truth in a sense, where that guy told me, like, it's amazing how you actually see the very first villain in a shonen to actually make a return so late in the game, but it seems like a very relevant piece of the puzzle. I mean, like, I'm not sure how relevant he is really, but you never know. Maybe there would be something like, so he knew this. Shit, no wonder he want that 4-leaf clover grimoire from Yuno. This makes perfect sense. I mean, like a lot of series, they always just wipe away the first villain ever. Mizuki, that slime dude. The list goes on. So who knows? I don't know. Maybe
where we kind of get a reoccurring appearance from the first villain was One Piece. Without
yeah,
that's the only one.
Yeah, that's true. I guess great minds think alike now. But seriously though, That is interesting to consider because maybe he has some answer that we probably wanted to get after hearing a story about this and try to put everything together, especially with the Asta Grimoires. But I'm not sure he's gonna answer that one. But maybe he knows something about the four leaf and whatnot. What I do like about this revelation as well, before entering the Dark Elf version, which I thought is a pretty cool way to incorporate the mythical things that has been established, especially the Dark Elf. It was something that should have come to my mind, but the way how they did it themselves, the way how Tabata input it is actually pretty damn cool because like this all ties into his own realm of his own universe. Like again, for the past 3 chapters so far, you always get these flashback panels to let you know these are the hints that you probably missed out. And if you haven't missed out, if you didn't miss out, if you did miss out, this is the way. These are the evidence. This is the evidence, and it has been doing that for the past 3 chapters. It reminds me of another series. I'm not sure if I should say it because maybe a lot of people didn't read it, but it was another series where the person was like talking about like how everything seems wonderful, and then you should see a lot of panels that suddenly tells you all the hints of something something drastic is about to happen in the next couple of pages, and lo and behold, it does. But in this case, it's all about showing you everything that you probably missed out, and this is the reason how this is even something that always has been happening. Like when Asta was like realizing, like he remembers witnessing the elf going crazy to the point that they're going to the deep despair, like they're no longer human nor elf. So it's like, oh, see, it was always hinted there, and the fans continue to win because that's awesome. Because a lot of fans keep theorizing. Now, sometimes it could be overboard, but I haven't yet to see something like, oh, you think it just way too deep, sir. But instead, wow, sir, you deserve a kudos. You deserve a cookie, because everybody sees it. And I'm like, not only I'm happy these fans are really, like kind of united together and see how much fun they have into theorizing in order to become confirmation, but it also makes it like seem like that everything is not happening on the whim, or it's not happening like, oh, by the way, I have a brother. It never was written in the scripture. It was never been told by anybody's stories. But I apparently have a brother. I'm like, really? You have a brother? I did not know that. How could I never told it? I don't know. We're telling you now because we need to make sure that you two are like us. We're like brothers. You two are like brothers. We got to make a parallel again. We need to do that.
Aye.
So, but this series instead is like every time there's a new twist, it's like before we reveal the twist, let me just show you the evidence why this is even happening. Before you call that a cop out, before you call it bullshit, before you call it anything, I'm showing you that this always has been hinted. And if you missed it, I'm going to provide that again. If you don't accept it, well, tough. But yeah, the Dark Elf, I thought this was a pretty neat way to introduce the Dark Elf. Sucks for Rehab for like not telling the truth all the time. Look what's happening. It went even way. It's even gone way more deeper than he probably expected. Like instead of like, well, I expected Demon was gonna come out. I expected a drawback come out, but damn, now I'm seeing one of my friends become a demon possess itself. Is like, what have I done?
Yep. It's like, oh man, I should have been truthful. But no, I caused this shit, and now I gotta pay the price.
Yeah, that's pretty much the story of this. Moral of the story: pay the price for lies. By the way, I think this is the. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I think this is the one you're talking about. The scheme that pushed you where you are. You were a schemer. You had plans, and look where that got you. Is that it?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. Yeah, that was. He supposedly said it during the hospital scene.
I think so. Yeah, like when he's trying to like further shift Harvey's viewpoint.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. According to this, Swiss says Rachel. Yeah, this is it. All right. Yeah, that's it.
You live, you die.
Yeah, I like how you delivered that one.
Yeah, right.
Heads, you live. Tails, you die. I can't do it right here.
I know. So Padre unleashes demon light magic light swords of judgment. So it's still swords of revealing light, but it's a more darker version of it.
And it's going horizontal.
Yeah, that too. I'm going vertical now.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant. Always get mixed up.
Man, and the damage it's doing too. Like even Yuno was like, well, black light. What incredible speed. I couldn't even fully dodge it with Monozone. And he also just kind of checks him like, Asta, are you alive? And of course you got Asta just saying, oh, there are just so many. And the force behind each one was massive. The strength of these attacks is on a whole different level. And he says, damn it, of course I am, you bastard. So if the anti-magic radiating out of me didn't eat away at those attacks a bit, I'd have been dead. Yeah, that is very much true for Asta's case. Like, even the demon's like, oh, that is nothing but a heartless, soulless ember. A silhouette scorched against reality by the magic of the Grimoire. So play to your utmost content. So the exit is above. Well, then I'll be taking my leave here. And I was just sitting here going like, are you serious? Like, he's like just straight up dipping from the fight. It's like, well, I could take him out, but I already got my puppet doing the work for me. So, toodaloo. Like, I don't.
Toodaloo. Well, I'll be hitting the old dusty trail.
Right. It's like the human.
But
oh, go on.
I'm sorry. No, I just want to say one thing. But if once I see this scene and then like nothing comes through, now of course anything could happen in the next couple of chapters. But when I saw that, I was like, oh, so this means the series won't end unless the series will end like Hungry Joker. I defeat not the final villain, but one of the main villains. And here's the final villain. But we cannot continue the story because I got canceled. But seriously, like with the devil escaping, leaving, I guess he will be like the what's that? I forgot that character name from Soul Eater or fairy tale wise, Arcalugia. You could say that one. That one's good. Yeah, that one's a good one as well.
Yeah, because after basically a specific point, Agnologia was like, all right, well, I'm done. Goodbye.
Yeah. He's like a hidden final boss, or a real final boss. I don't know. Depends how you want to see it. But the point is, if he escapes, that means we know he's gonna be around, and of course, more importantly for everybody, even though the interview pretty much said otherwise too, or back it up, but we're gonna get to that soon. But with the devil escaping, that only means the series will go on longer than this arc, which a lot of people did fear for a second, but now everybody seems like relaxed, which is good. I'm relaxed. I'm ready to relax. I'm just feeling the hype.
Oh yeah. After 194, I was like, yeah, we're here for the long run. There's no way we're gonna end the series with
exactly.
This
arc. No.
I mean, I'll say this: this arc could be like an end of part 1. You could make that argument, but who knows?
Time will tell what will happen next. What's going to happen next? Unless I don't know. I always say this arc was meant to be a big arc, but not as a big arc to say, oh, it's going to end everything, every story, everything. We're going to have a new series, probably the Samurai 8, even though Samurai 8 might take over other series that's going to get canceled. I think one of them has a huge hint that's going to get canceled. Higuma? I forgot. But point is, one of the series is going to take that place. And yeah, Black Clover isn't going anywhere, so
no,
cheer up. we're good to go. We're gonna have a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, because even the devil's like, well, the human bound the fate of an illegitimate child of elf and human, obviously referring to Yuno, which, by the way, I should have addressed this a while back, but that was a confirmation we got from the Viz translation, because, and I think you were the one who pointed that out, because I remember I checked the chapter. I was like, "Oh yeah, huh?" So he is a reincarnation of Lit and of Lit's son. So, because that was kind of confusing when it came to the translation of the previous chapter. So getting that confirmation was actually kind of nice.
Yeah, I was like, as soon as I got a notification, Black Clover new chapter. Oh, go straight to that second last page or second last double page double page spread, and then I'm like, oh, there we go. I mean, of course, I wasn't the very first one to discover. That's crazy, but that was like the first thing that came to my mind, and as soon as I saw you post the podcast for the last week one, I have to address that because I did say to myself like, hey, if I find out that it's different, then I will go there and just put it up there, or you put it up there. It's up to you. But yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah.
So Lich's son. It's not Lich himself, but Lich's son, which is still interesting. I mean, we again, like Asta himself, there's more tale to tell for these two characters.
Definitely going to say a lot for what's to come. I mean, even he's like, well, this will be the end of the magicless defect that wields the 5-leaf clover grimoire. If I don't hurry and steal that body, it may die along with him. And I had to focus on that panel for a while because he said, if I don't hurry and steal that body, it may die along with him. And I kept just focusing on those words, like, it may die along with him. And I'm like, And then I clicked it, I was like, so the devil in the grimoire then, he wants to take Asta's body. Because not only does he have the 5-leaf clover grimoire, but there's also the devil that we've seen from, I want to say chapter, it was like near the end of the Witch Forest arc, near the end of that particular arc where we saw that devil for the first time. Given that, I'm just going to sit here going like, alright, so, there's going to be some form of involvement there. Sparda, do you want to give your little input on this particular panel?
The whole the devil with Asta stuff, right?
Yes.
I mean, like, he's interested to get the grimoire and to steal his body, but like, if so, I guess like I said, I don't know. They hasn't confirmed anything on why the fact that Asta has Lich grimoire in the first place. Like, is it like that? Is it like how it works? Is it like what's that series? One Piece with the devil fruit. Oh, that guy who had a devil fruit died. Well, that devil fruit is gonna reborn in this world, and somebody could be the next user. How it works exactly? So, like, if Asta dies, so does the grimoire. But does it like dies? Like, oh, it doesn't exist anymore, or does it go like transfer to a new person? Like, oh, you happen to be born on this very hour. So, kind of like the Avatar logic. So therefore, this is you now. This belongs to you. Have fun with another demon inside. So I don't know how it exactly works, but all I know is that the demon, the devil himself, wants it. Exactly how he's gonna get it, I don't think he's gonna get it today, here, or whatever. But I don't know if the devil inside of Asta has any connection with him, as in like, hey, I'm your lost brother, or hey, I'm you,
lost brother,
something, whatever the story is with the devil, because we know now the devil could come in any place. It could come from five-leaf clover, as well as that it could form up anytime. So it's like anybody could do it. Well, not everybody. Anybody with 4-leaf clover could do it, so long that you really want to go that deep down despair, which is scary. Because imagine like, hey, there's 100 4-leaf clover, and all of them became 5-leaf clover with the demonic power inside. Well, we're screwed. That sounds like a scary ass thing. But
it does.
Yeah. But I don't know. I can't say like what exactly does he really wants with the Asta and his grimoire. Like, I don't know what's a connection besides being a 5-leaf clover. Doesn't really establish like how Asta got it. Probably in the next story. Probably in this arc even. We just have to see for the real Lich show up if he is still around.
Lit did give him that grimoire. That is still something I'm like, alright, so I mean, it's kind of showcasing the piece behind that too is like, all right, so Lit wasn't the one who initiated the entire resurrection. It was this guy. So at least it's connecting the pieces there. But when we do see Lit again, that is going to be something definitely be worth keeping a note on. But even in saying that, we got Asta here just going, I can't let that bastard leave this place. Wait right there, you disgusting jerk. And Padre is like just going and like right when Asta's about to like charge over. And he's like, oh god, no! But thanks to Yuno, using Mana's own Spirit Storm, surprise attack, and Asta tells him to get out of the way. You probably can't forgive us humans, just like I can't forgive you. But I just know that we truly are able to understand one another, aren't we? So please get out of the way. And then you got Padre just going like, hate. And he's like just formulating a dark spear around him. And Asta's like, ah, shit. Like, this is magic. And
oh, what have I done?
yeah, right? He's like, what's going on? Then there's a crash coming in from the building. And we see Yami. And we finally see Noelle, which...
Yeah!
Does magic...
Actually, yeah, for both.
yeah, right. I mean, the fact that we saw Jack the Ripper a couple chapters back, I already kind of knew, like, all right, so we're going to see Yami. But we saw Noelle back in, I want to say, what, 691? 2? 3 even? Basically when they were just getting into the Shadow Palace. And we saw what everyone was doing except for you. And now that we see him, it's like, okay, so Tabata, are we gonna get an explanation as to what he was up to, or is this gonna be like, no.
Oh man.
Well, I guess our joke's gone.
2 more chapters. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I guess our jokes has died. But on the bright side, 2 more chapters. 2 more chapters. Just 2 more chapters, and I'm telling you, this is a milestone with chapter 200. I can feel it. I can sense it. You already have the big 2 key. You got the 2 key players.
Each chapter so far has just been like revelation after revelation. It's like, dude, Tabata.
Yeah, and now we pretty much have our own set of final boss with the Dark Elf version of Patuli. So it's like, oh, there we go. Now we have the real final boss for this arc. I mean, excuse me. So a lot of crazy shit. So like I said, I'm just overly impressed by this whole this development from Black Clover. Like I'm just I'm like hype. I mean, I don't sound hype right now, probably because I got a little cold. I'm not sure, but when I was like finished reading this, I'm like, oh my god, this series!
I know
how this series did
it. I need the next chapter right now. Come on.
Yeah, it's like I never feel so hungry for the next chapter. With well, I mean, like there are a couple other series, but in terms of like weekly showing jump, this was probably like only like out of the 2 or 3. But trust me, I read like majority of them, so that's a huge accomplishment itself. But even so, when it comes to the Friday release. When it's like, oh, there's One Piece, My Hero, Black Clover, and so on. Black Clover will be like, oh, first.
You're right.
So that says, I'm telling you, I'm very intrigued what's happening so far. And chapter 200, you can see it right now. You can see a lot of things are building up to chapter 200 to be a big chapter. Like it needs to be like, oh, a shocking twist. Like, so this time Asta was the reincarnation from a different series altogether or something like that. It doesn't have to be like that. Or it could just be like a big, huge thing, like, oh, every cast and a character, everybody's here, coming. What's that slogan from Smash Bros. Ultimate? Everyone is here. It's like that would be the end. That would be chapter 200 right there. I don't know, something crazy. I just expect something.
We get Charmy, we get Noelle, we get Jack the Ripper. It's like a whole panel of just not even a whole panel, a whole page. Just be like, there you go, all the characters against the Dark Elf. I'll be like, yeah, that's what I want to see. Put in some work.
Yeah.
All I mean, people will already lose their shit with Asta, Yuno, and Noelle, like already just on a single panel in their forms. That's something a lot of people want to see, me included, because that's got potential. That's got a lot of potential right there.
Agree.
But the most important question is what has Noelle been up to? You want to take your shot at this, Sparta?
Well, two things. Is he with Yami like next to him? Like, are they like right in the same spot, or they're like about to collide? But like, hey, what are you doing here? I've been looking for. Well, not been looking for you. They don't like each other, but still. But like, hey, what are you doing here? Like, the hell are you doing here? Well, I was here first, something like that. But maybe he was just exploring. I think it's possible the next chapter will have a flashback of like how Yami and Noelle what those two were doing before they got to this point of like the main boss battle, I guess you could call it. That's the way I see it, at least. Maybe that could happen, or if not, maybe it's just like a very simple way to say, hey, we were just exploring. We didn't see anybody. We just felt the crazy mana from a far distance, and here we are. I mean, I don't mind that explanation. It needs to be like, we found a secret tomb. I was exploring there.
Yeah,
and or
the secret tomb to like the Pharaoh's lair, and it's like the 7 millennium items, and it's like, no, that's not cool.
or like how Gintama parody once. Oh, what were we doing? We had a final boss ourselves from heaven and earth. It was like deciding fate for the entire world. Like, well, damn, that's one hell of an arc. I wish I was there instead.
Right?
Like, your arc sounds crazier than our arc, and we're in the final arc too. So where's this going? Yeah, that's, I don't know. I mean, again, it could be just a simple explanation, just like, oh, we were just exploring. That's it. I'm just happy they showed up. I'm just happy Noelle finally shows up again.
I know.
Or even, I'm like, oh, you're finally here. Damn, about damn time. But Yami, I'm definitely hyped because Yami's like my favorite character. Still is. Mm-hmm. So you could imagine how hyped I am. But it is concerning because maybe somebody could die here. I hope not. I don't want no one to die. I mean, yeah, no, I know people will be like, well,
when this arc ends, it's like, oh, it's like here lies.
The crazy thing is, I don't think anybody still knows that Julius has died. Only Yami.
Oh, that's the crazy thing.
So everybody's gonna be like lose their mind, or like pretty much they're gonna be in a very depressing
45, I think.
Somewhere around there. I lost track, but it's been a while. But yeah. So it could be like the case of like the third Hokage back in Naruto, where the third Hokage died, and the only one that knew that he died were the Ambus. So once everything was finally settled, okay, 147. Well, wow, it's been a while. It's been 51 chapters then.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's true. That is crazy. It's been a year, including breaks. So yeah, it's been a year ago. Wow.
No one knows.
No one knows. Yet well, I'm not sure if anybody ever complained like, "Oh, this arc is too long." Personally, I found myself just enjoying everything. I mean, it's long. It's definitely long, but it's not into like complain or cry about like how like other series would be doing. But like, dang, we only been here for a year or less than a year. Like you're still complaining.
It's not like the overhaul arc where it was like, "Oh man, we here," and then it's like, okay, keep going. Yes, but that's it. It wasn't like that.
Exactly. Like, this is boring. Oh god. This character is getting derailed. Whatever. This is the experience I have with other series, excuse me. So I was like, but in this series, I'm like, oh, ooh,
I know. I'm the same way. I'm just like, I mean, there hasn't been a dull moment, and I mean, you could argue Black Clover hasn't had that at all, which is
I mean, that's one of the. I'm sorry, you go.
No, and I mean that's what I was gonna say. Is like that, and I feel like that's one of its strong points is that in particular.
Yeah, I always thought that was a strong point. I mean, like sometimes it felt like a little drawback or nitpick wise. where it's like, you want to see more of that world, but too bad, we're gonna have another fight, and then we're gonna have another fight, and then a fight on top of that fight.
I'll say that.
That was like that in the beginning. Now it's still like the pacing is still like fast, but it's not like fast to say like, man, if you slow down, it would have been much better. But it's not like it's fast paced, and I'm still adrenaline rush right now. Ooh, come on, bring it more. It found his niche, I guess you could say. I don't want to call it a niche, but it's a lack of better word. It found his way to make everything work out for the best, and it makes it much more enjoyable than ever, at least for me. Because like I said early on, I was like, I enjoy the series, but I just think it's just a decent one. It's like a good fun, like a good $5 popcorn flick. There you go. But now it's become like, damn, I spend IMAX. I spend on a day one $25 with some big large popcorn and a large drink. But I'm excited because this movie is hype. That's Black Clover right now.
Yeah,
it's basically like a really top tier summer film that you probably even go back for more because it was that good. That's how I feel right now.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly how I feel. I'm just like, wow, woo, Tabata, man. I mean, you've been doing good so far, and 2 revelations ago. No, the entire dwarf revelation, like, still blows my mind.
Yeah.
And then we get the whole devil reveal, which I was like, oh shit! Then we get the Grimoire thing, and then we get the whole, oh no, it wasn't Lit that did the whole thing, it was me. I set the entire thing up. I'm like, wow. I'm like, Tabata, like, is there something that that we're not aware of yet still? Okay, well, there's a number of things. Like, Asta and Yuno's origins. That's the key feature that we still haven't gotten yet, but I think that might be coming up soon. Might. I don't quote me on that.
Come on in this arc. I'm sorry, go on.
Yeah, I'm not. I was just gonna say, don't quote me on that. You guys didn't say it. Oh, Lucky Cheese said it's gonna happen in this arc right now. I think it's coming up. I don't know if it's gonna happen in this arc. We could get a hint of it, but I think that's it. That's probably my guess in terms of that. But I don't know. Chapter 200, that is gonna be special, and considering how we're only 2 chapters away from that now, which that's soon. That is very soon.
Oh man, can't wait 2 more weeks unless I pull a Dr. Stone. What a great chapter. Next chapter is 100.
I know.
What a milestone they have. Oh, a break. Damn it. Unless they do that. Well, I don't know if I want to say I hope they don't do that because I do like Tabata to get a break once in a while. He's a working machine, sure, but still. Everyone needs a break, damn it.
Actually, no, yeah, he hasn't taken a break since 2016, if I recall. Because he only took a break once, right?
Yeah, I think it was once or twice. I try to remember. I think it was once. Like it's always, it feels so rare when you see somebody that hardly takes a break. So like, so you could imagine how I was surprised, but like, oh, that was a great chapter for Dr. Stone. A break? Like, what happened? Or
yeah,
like,
so yeah, he only took one break in 2017. That was it.
Wow, that's crazy. I'm telling you, he developed as a working machine. He's no longer human. I don't know what you talk about. He's still human. Like, get out of here. It's a working machine. It's a machine.
Got that Oda genes going like there.
Yeah. But then again, maybe it's best if he does take a break because 2 things. 1, if he takes a break, he could have his art even more defined than ever. Even though, his art has been insane, especially that's the whole chapter with the crazy imagination going wild. I'm still perplexed by that. By the way,
good right now. Can you imagine just how good it's going to be in like the volumes itself?
I know. It's like, damn, I should buy the volumes just because I want to see. I just want to like have them in my hands, just look at them in fine print. It's like, dude, it's like having a work of art. As the guy said before, he made a mistake for going to manga. He should have been an artist. Like, hey, I kind of agree. I mean, hey, look, if Black Clover ends like around like, chapter 800, and then he want to do another manga, you could be the artist, and the storyline, leave it to someone else. I'm not saying his story sucks, because again, I would not be this invested if the story wasn't this good. But all I'm saying is that 800 chapters. That's like he would be what? He would be like over 15 years older than he first started. If that's the case, he could always go back to doing the drawing, but the storyboard he could give it to someone else.
Wouldn't this be a neat combination? Tabata as the artist, Ishida as the writer.
Huh. Mind blown. Even though it's funny because like I love Ishida's art though. Oh, yeah, so it's kind of like, damn it should have been vice versa. So I'll be very nitpicky in that one, but I don't know. I mean, like I like both of their art style and all. Oh yeah, I still remember. Yeah, even though a lot of people likes to joke about the art style for Tabata when he did the one for Black Clover, which I will admit it does look funny. Well, mainly Ochaku one, but everyone else pretty solid. I thought it was fine. I thought it was neat. It's kind of like it wasn't, to me, it wasn't as weird as the Fairy Tail and Seven Deadly Sin one. I mean, I remember Happy looking very weird. I'm like, what the hell is happening with Happy? What's wrong with Happy? Why are you so not happy?
Especially if you go back to like the early volumes and you look at how Happy's design was, it's like, what the hell happened to you?
Yeah. Da-da-da.
He's like way too different now.
Oh man. But yeah, everyone has their own style. But that kind of combo, I would like it. I would dig it. I'd be like, this is gonna be some amazingness. Then again, I always thought the good combo also would be for Hunter x Hunter. You get the artist for Ishida from Ishida himself. He's the artist, and of course the writers, Togashi.
Yeah, I mean that Hisoka one shot he did was a pretty good example of that. Even though that was
I mean, the guy is a huge fan of Togashi. I don't blame him because not only he gave a huge respect on that interview, which that was heartwarming, but he also gave him the draft of the upcoming chapters that didn't happen yet, and I was like, damn, that's respect. I would have teary eyes too. I would have teary eyes too. Did Tabata ever did a cross interview? I could have sworn he did one.
I don't recall.
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember either.
The only
thing I feel like he did one.
The only thing I know from Tabata is that him and Koi are best friends. That's the only thing I know, which is funny when I think about it.
Yeah, it's the Oda and Kishimoto of the new generation, I guess you could say. Maybe not in sales or popularity, but definitely in terms of friendship.
Yeah, no. And you get the two camps like, no this, no that. I'm like, well, I mean, I kind of have my preference now, obviously, but you don't see me going around like saying, oh, no. Just saying the other series has flaws. That's it.
Yeah, right.
But could you imagine like both Tabata and Koi just like hanging out and just like going like looking at the comments, like just saying, man, can you believe all this? Look at what these guys are saying about your series. Look at what these guys are saying about your series.
I hope nobody was being harsh on Tabata in the early days. What? I got the worst manga of the year 2016, if I remember right. How dare they?
Yeah, right. But I mean, if it comes to my overall thoughts on the chapter, and I think this is like my third time in a row giving that's the rating, but I gave the chapter an amazing plus because I thought it was that good. I mean, Tabata's got something, and it's gonna be something. Definitely something we're gonna have to keep our eye on. But what about you, Sparda? Like, just what's your thoughts on the chapter overall?
Well, I thought it was seriously good. I thought it was really damn good because, once again, it continues to impress me how everything starts to line up and continues to connect to every dot that has been hinted throughout the entire arc and even the previous arcs. It goes to show you that everything has been planned well. And I do remember he, in terms of action wise, or at least the magic wise, he goes along with it. But he has been doing a really stellar job for a guy who has been going along with it. And I'm just impressed how much everything starts to connects the dot, as well as gives me interested for the future content, especially with the interview, the latest interview. That put it like a good smile because I'm having a much more respect for the guy. I mean, like I always respect everybody else. I'm not gonna try to badmouth them, but Tabata has been like a guy. Like if I hear like, oh, he's gonna come to New York Comic Con or he's gonna come to Anime NYC or Anime Expo, I'll be like, oh man, I want to like to meet this guy. He'd be in my priority. So like, if I have a chance, I will meet him. Instead, now it's like, oh, he's coming. I definitely gotta go there. That's how much of respect I have with this guy. And it depends how this arc ends. I don't know. I feel like I should start getting the volumes. That's how good I'm actually impressed by this series. It is the recent chapter is actually the first chapter I start to review in text. I won't do it. I wouldn't say I won't do it. Anything is possible because when the series seems like it's ending, anything could change. But I try not to overwork myself. But definitely, Black Clover would have been one of the series I would like to review. If I had unlimited stamina, I would have actually just done it in my YouTube channel and just post a video review like, "Hey, Black Clover, this is the first ever." But guess what? It's worth it because it's hype. But maybe anything could change. Anything could change. That all being said, I'm really enjoying this arc. I'm really enjoying the revelations. I'm really enjoying the twist. I'm really liking everything that's going on. With 200 chapter coming soon, really, really soon, it's like, how much hype can I get?
Right? It's like, man, there's only so much you can handle, and Tabata's like, oh, you thought this one was enough? Well, here, let me drop like 3 more on you. I'm like Tabata, breathe. That is,
yeah.
Catch our breaths, man. My God.
It's funny because like every time I remember the whole Black Setsu thing, because the reaction is definitely different from me. Like, because I remember when the devil came in, for some reason that guy reacted really negative. I don't know why, but I mean, I understand where he's coming from. But at the same time, I felt like he didn't give too much of a chance to understand the entire scope of it. But to each their own. For me, I was like, oh, what? But like for Black Zetsu, I'm like, oh, really?
I know. That's what I was like. I was like, this was the main mastermind, really? After all,
you're doing this now.
It's like, oh, it is I, Pei. No, it is I, Toby, or Obito. No, both of you fools. It was I the entire time. I've been foreshadowed since the beginning of the series. And then somewhere along the lines, this black being comes out of nowhere and just says no.
Black being.
Not in that context. Not in that context.
Well, I'm not going. Well, let's keep it PG, even though I swear.
Yeah, it's like no. It is me. My wheel is not yours. It is the rabbit. I'm like, okay. I have officially lost.
Yep, that happened, guys.
Yeah.
I am curious how many people have yet to read Naruto or know Naruto. I mean, you gotta think about it. Black Clover is still new. Well, not really still new, but it's like, it's still in a young age in a sense. And when you compare it to like Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, definitely One Piece. I mean, a lot of people be like, "Oh, that series is still going on."
Just entering the Sasuke retrieval arc around this point in the story,
right? So aside from that, aside from talking about bad memories, is there anything else you'd like to go over next or anything?
In terms of predictions, I mean, Noelle and Yami are finally here. I think, like you said, we're gonna get some stuff on Noelle as to what he's been up to for like the last few chapters. Mm-hmm. Maybe we could see Noelle again and Jack, because we haven't seen them for a couple chapters either, and seeing how the battle against Fauna's going. Probably Charmy?
Charmy. Yeah, I mean, Maybe the next chapter won't focus at all with Asta and the Dark Elf. Maybe it will all be what the other guys has been doing, the siblings, Veto, the Kaiser, Noelle, everyone else. And then because there's only like four different scenes, four different locations, and we could easily do all that and then tie into chapter 200 to make a big giant
Oh,
craziness.
definitely could.
Man, I can see it happen. I hope so. I mean, like Dark Elf is already proven to be powerful as hell. So, did you need like more backup?
I know there's only so much you could do with just Yuno and Asta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of funny how people thought Asta and Yuno was actually going to take down the devil himself and beat him. Like, nah, that's not going to happen. Not yet, at least. Maybe, hey, it could happen in a far distant future, but you think it's going to happen right here, right now? No.
No. that, like, people would go like, "Oh, now we've just reached fairy tale status." Like, no, we are not going there. We are.
We're not going. We're not hit there. We haven't hit there. We're going 200 strong. We're good.
We are definitely good. I mean, other than that, though, I don't really see too many things as far as the whole prediction side of things go.
Yeah.
That's just kind of where my thoughts lie on that. What about you?
Like I said, just have patience. Have patience. You start to see everything in a brighter light. If you, I mean, like, I'm not saying don't react on the whim, because I'm no saint when it comes to that too. Because I react whatever the big revelation happened. Like, oh my god, why? And can it prove me wrong? It can. It can. It depends. But usually I react more on like the effect behind it, more so the aftermath. Like, I don't want to go into deeper details, because this is not even talking about Black Clover. But if another series, I gave reasons why this could be really bad idea or really damaging idea. But at the same time, I react why I feel this is a bad decision for the previous what's that word I'm looking for? Like the previous it's kind of like a foundation. No, like a foundation, a testament. This commandment, I guess you could say. Well, actually, that's a bad thing. But testament, like it has this formula, it has this foundation that makes it work, that makes it popular. It's kind of like erasing ninjas from Naruto verse. It's like, you started great because you talk about ninja, which everybody who has interest in ninja. Granted, it's not the most accurate thing, but we know that. We know that. We're cool with that. But then you remove that, it's like, oh, we're going virtual tech. Like, why? You're not continuing off what makes it great to begin with. What you're doing. So with Black Clover, it still remains few things. It's magic. It's all magic based. It's all teamwork is key. Everybody is in the same wavelength. Even if one is very powerful or one is very good at the offense, like Yuno and Asta, they still it's still necessary to ask for other people to do your helping. Like, again, with Asta, he doesn't have magic at all. He only has physical attack. They're strong, definitely. But maybe you need I need like a teleportation so I could get there quicker, or I could get there right close by that person easily. Or maybe I need like a mirror to reflect something so I could be like, haha, you thought you got me, but it is I, something. Anybody in a certain case can be useful. And that's what makes this Black Clover really enjoyable. Which is funny because the interview, I think we should get to that, that interview.
Yeah, that's actually where I was about to jump into next. So, oh my god. Funny story about the interview. So I was actually just getting done with like some of my own personal stuff, and I was just surfing the web, and then all of a sudden I just come across this. I'm like, Yuki Tabata interview, Jump Festa 2019. I'm like, what's this? Like, I remember he did an interview a while back. I don't remember what year it was, but it was some time ago. So then I'm like, all right, let me just check out and see what he has to say. And You guys have no idea how much reading this interview, like, it brought a smile to my face. I was grinning the entire time, like, oh wow. Like, it not only do we get a lot about Tabata, but we also get a lot about possible directions of where the story could go. And just how fun the interview was too. Sparta, what was your thoughts when you came across the interview?
I'll be honest. I didn't know the interview was up. It's one of the case of like, damn it, Shonen Jump app. You gotta give me that notification. You didn't give me that notification. That's something they should work on. But they're getting better. They're definitely getting better. I like the whole, hey, you didn't finish reading this chapter. You want to finish it today? You want to finish it now? What say you? I was like, okay, that's a good feature. Stuff like this, it makes me keep up to date with a lot of things. Now the interview that needs to fix, or they got a notification like such as, "Hey, want to read a new interview with Black Clover himself, the creator? Then read it here right now," something like that. But so I didn't know about this interview until you actually posted to me. I'm like, it's an interview. It's like, is it the old one or is it a new one? Oh, this is new.
Yeah,
That comes off a surprise for me. Again, I wish I had a notification from themselves, but I'm gonna cut them a slack. Anyway, in terms of the interview itself, I thought it was really fun reading. This is one of the factor on why Tabata has been gaining my respect even more than ever. Especially how much of a fan he come off to his own work. Now, granted, you would think, well, of course, this is his own work. It makes sense, but the way how he express it is what makes it appealing to me when I read them. It feels
like
like
he
I'm
gets
reading
so much
off.
energy to it. Like when the questions are being answered, and I'm like, see that I really like seeing.
Right. I like seeing somebody who enjoys his own work, right? And they're like, I'm tired of this work. Kind of want to end it right now. Like, oh, okay. Want to end it right now? We could end it right now. Kind of messed up for the fans. Be like, those fans really want like your work. I mean, like, yeah, it's your call, it's your body, it's your health. I understand that. I'm not saying you got to do it for the fans, or else you're gonna get blackmailed with Poppy Wood. Get blackmail, but my point is like, if you're gonna start working on something, do a job that you enjoy doing a lot. And I see a lot of passion coming from Tabata from this interview. I could sense that this guy really enjoys his work. I sense it way more than the last interview. Not to say the last interview he was so mellowed out or he was so poor in terms of like pointing out
I
words
think
or
it was
something like
mostly
that.
because Black Clover was still in like its early stages at that point. I think that's what the other
Right.
do.
Well, yeah, that too. But like he was more like straightforward. But here he was more excited. He's like a guy who just received an award that says like, well, I don't know, like a Nobel Peace Prize, and he's like really tearing up, and he's still tearing up as he gets interviewed. That's the way he come across because he's just having so much fun now. Now he's like in a world of like, damn, I don't know. I'm touched. I'm really touched. Yeah? That's how I read it from him. But also like the questions, even if it's not really trying to ask too much of it. But you know, I'm not expecting like, oh, what are you gonna do with the plot twist here? Oh, you'll see. But there are some like that, and I do find it funny with how Tabata responds to them. Like, that's a good question, you know. Like, and the funny part is how like the whole almost 200 chapters. Like, how do you stay motivated? It's like, that's a good question. There's a lot of people looking forward to the next chapter, so that motivate me. I was like, yeah, exactly. When the fans gets into it, you get into it as well, and that's cool because like
And
how fans
his
really
wife was the
means a
other
lot
big
to
thing
him.
too.
Yeah. Well, I forgot about the whole Charmy thing. Like, I actually
Yeah,
wrote
because
Charmy
Tommy
to
was
be.
like based on his wife, and I'm like, what are you trying to say about her cooking habits? Then?
It's like, well, Godspeed if you piss her off. We're like, oh, I'm good. I don't want food today. I'm sorry, what? Oh dear. It's interesting to learn that he had a new editor, and it's funny how he put it out. I was
Yeah, I
like,
didn't know about that. That's interesting.
yeah, I don't know if it has that much of effect in terms of like the writing quality. I can't say that because again, when you look at back to the old chapters, it was more like building up to a lot of bigger things that's gonna come about, and it did, definitely did. I can't. I'm not gonna say like, well, you know, that other editor, he was like so crap, and then this editor is like, I made Naruto incredible. I'm gonna make Black Clover incredible now. I'm not gonna say that's the case, but it is hilarious that he's like, well, he's a very serious person, and I'm the exact opposite. So I guess this explains why his interview. I guess that explains why his interview is so different. Considering compared to the other ones, like I'm having too much fun, and him, he's like, you gotta talk to the law attorney for this answer, sir. He's kind of like that. I don't know. I'm exaggerating, of course, but I can imagine he'd be like that.
You're right. I know, like even like some of the questions too. Like this one question, he's like, "So if you could speak to Asta, what advice would you give him?" And he's just like, "Oh, geez, advice." I feel like he's a better person than me, so he should be giving me advice. Maybe I tell him that he really wants to win over his sister. Maybe he shouldn't be so aggressive. I died as soon as he said that. I was like, "Wow."
Oh shoot. But you know, the one question that surprised me, kinda, not too much, but more like, you kind of see yourself very low, sir, because I beg to differ, or hell, we fans beg to differ. And the one with that says was the one of like, you know, Black Clover has so many amazing characters. How do you balance the stories so each character gets some attention? Yeah, and then he's like, I'm not sure if I'm doing that well. I'm like, you sure about that? Because okay. Exactly. I'm not saying it's the best ever or it's the most perfect, or I don't even know if it makes sense. That doesn't make no sense at all. But it's not the most. It's not perfect. But you compare it to other series or any other series from the past, even I'm seeing myself like, hey, I'm enjoying what you're doing. I'm liking these characters. I'm having a lot of praise for these characters because you're doing a hell of a job. I mean, if you want to see, if you think you could go further beyond, go for it. But I'm not sure if you're thinking, I'm not sure you're thinking too highly on yourself. I mean, granted, it's best to not to over extend your ego. But like, yeah, I'm the best when it comes to amazing characters. I always do amazing characters. No. I always do well. I guess in that sense, it's better to always look down upon yourself in a way. But I don't know. It's a weird feeling. All I'm saying is that he does have a lot of great characters, and I think he's doing a bang up job for giving them a chance to not only like shine but be relevant to the story and relevant to the battle themselves,
and kind of like continue to develop as well.
Right. So, but that kind of amazes me. But at the same time, I could understand where he's coming from. So maybe the case is like, don't try to feel like overconfidence on your own work. Feel like you always could go more and more, which I don't mind. I don't mind that kind of answer. It's just kind of funny how he's like, I'm not sure I'm doing that well. It's like, there's so many characters I want to feature more. I'm like who? Because I'm all ears. I don't know who you want to feature more. What you're doing with, like, hell, what you're doing with in terms of heroine, that's already a amazing feature you have been working on.
Right?
I actually went back to the old discussion boards, and I see nothing but huge praise when Noelle got her shine. I got her moments, like a crazy moment back in I forgot what chapter now. I think it 170 something. You know what I'm talking about, though, right? So, like with that chapter, I just see nothing but praise. I just see everybody saying, like, you see, Tabata knows how to do heroes. Tabata knows how to make characters relevant. Tabata knows how to do this and that.
177.
I'm saying he's okay. Thanks. So, like, since 177, I saw the discussion from 177 and the chapter before and after that, and everybody just keep on praising. And I was like, I was just amazed. I wanted to write a review, but I didn't have the energy for it. You wrote it, and it was great. It was a perfect way to explain why this chapter kicks ass. That chapter kicks ass. You know, I really like that chapter. I read it like so many times. I love that moment because I feel like finally I'm seeing characters getting more and more shine and more, you know, like depth to the characters. He could go further, and the story is just beginning. Apparently now it's the beginning, but yeah, it's just the beginning. So who knows how much stuff we're gonna get? But that excites me because I can see a lot of great potentials.
Honestly, yeah, it's like same here. And like it's funny when you bring up the post I made about the chapter where Noelle showcased like the Valkyrie dress. I remember like when I woke up, I think I was dealing with what, maybe 5 hours of sleep that day. So I was surprised when I was able to write out, because usually I kind of go back and proofread everything before I make the post. But I kind of read and I was like, okay, it feels perfect. And wow, I mean, I reread that chapter a lot throughout the course of that
Yeah.
week. Like, I'm like,
I remember you got a lot of likes and retweet, whatever, or not retweets, reblogs for that, because it was like, everybody was like in the same boat as you were, and everybody like, damn, that was really well said, man.
yeah.
I was like, yep, well said.
I know. I'm just sitting here going like Tabata. Not just for giving Noelle a great moment, but for a Shonen Jump heroine. Like, again, take that into account. Okay, think of like all the previous Shonen Jump heroines that we've seen, even some of the current ones too. I mean, look, Ruki has got some good spotlight moments. I'm not going to take that away from her, but I will say there could have been points where she could have been more utilized. At points in Bleach, I will say that. And as far as Naruto goes, that should be obvious. I don't even have to say anything about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much a gag, even though it's all, well, I wouldn't say all true, but most of it is true. And even the guy himself said it himself. So you do the math.
Honestly.
I mean, who knows? Maybe everything would. Maybe I would take my word back. Maybe after this arc, where's Noelle? It's been 5 arcs ago. Who?
I don't jinx it.
Yeah, actually, I need a wood. There we go. I'm knocking the wood. I am not. If it happens, oh god, why? What have I? What did I do to deserve this?
I know, like, it'll be like a future Black Clover podcast. I'll be like, "Do you see what you just did?"
So you say something about like, she's fine. She got enough developments. What are you talking about? No, she hasn't been here since 5 arcs ago. And then when she comes back, she's damsel in distress. Help me, Asta. Help me, or Bakasta. Help me, or Dorksta. Help me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to jinx that. Realistically speaking, I don't think that's ever going to happen.
No,
but maybe damsel. For one moment, it doesn't hurt. But in terms of like being neglected to the very deep end, I don't think that's going to happen. I trust this guy. I trust him.
I know. I have like, what to buy. Like, again, seeing Noelle's journey from the beginning to now, if you think it's gonna stop, no, it's gonna keep going up. I'm gonna say that right now. It's gonna keep elevating. That's for sure. I mean, even in the interview. Oh, go on with what you were gonna say.
No, I'll say exactly. I'm just agreeing.
Okay, I know there's a lot actually in the interview that kind of gets brought up. Like, which one was it? I just saw it here too.
Is there any part of the interview that you enjoy reading, or you find yourself like, that's actually pretty funny, or something?
Okay, here's what. When they were talking about like the most important aspect of like the character design, and he's just like, I think making sure the characters are easy to remember is important. Like giving them traits that make it easier for the reader to remember them. But the most important thing for me is to feel good drawing them. If I'm getting frustrated, I'll change them a bit. I'll kind of keep designing until the character feels really good to draw, so it's all based on my feelings. That's important to me. And that's actually something I really liked. Getting that little tidbit from him. It's like, all right, so like, yeah, so what's like, because it kind of goes back to the whole motivation thing. So when it comes to the designs, what's the most important thing? And it's like, well, it's just personally how I feel. Like, if I really feel good drawing them, I will just keep going for it. Which actually does kind of bring some good insight as to how he feels about the characters. But what's your take on that, Sparta?
I actually like that answer. The answer actually was like one of the best things. That particular question and the answer itself was like one of the best thing I've read, because it's like what you said, motivation. The fact that he actually went out his way to make sure it's like not only like have a good design, but like feels right for him. Like it feels best for him. Like okay, because you know we already seen how like other artists, other mangaka, anybody that change it up because either they got we like you know comfortability is the key. When you're comfortable, you could change it. You could sort of alter it, and that'd be fine. But if you like change it drastically into the overall art, and then and then you acknowledge the reason for it, like such as I want to do it the same thing as the anime does, you know. If that's the case, then it's like, are you having fun with this though? Because it seems like you're just bought into something like, oh, I decided to change it up. I mean, maybe you could still have fun with the different art style that resembles anime. That's fine, but you know, I don't think Black Clover has that significant art changes in terms of
No,
like how it looks cleaner, it looks better. I mean, it could look better definitely, but it doesn't like I don't think the expressions or anything has altered that much that makes it like it's not like you know like when you look at Naruto, the very beginning,
yeah,
and then
I
you
was
go,
gonna bring that up. It's not like how part one Naruto was from start to finish, and then you go to part two, and you're like, "What the hell just happened?"
yeah, it's like everything has just become. I mean, like he's not the only one. Ishida did the same, but he did it within part one. Like towards the end of part one, it's like, oh, you started to see the art difference, but it was for the better because he was trying to make it. He was trying to make it the first beginning. He was trying to make it like look like one of those type of series, like where the seinen always takes itself serious. So therefore, the artwork would look like more human. But then he started to design to be like not just human, but more of like still established as a manga, which it works best for him. And honestly, that was his better style, and it worked
It
out
was.
better. Black Clover, you don't really see too much of like a changes. It's not like Naruto Part One from beginning to the Naruto end of Part One, because you know at the beginning of Part One it was rough, especially in
It
Shikamaru.
was.
His character design, he looks weird, but later on he got much better. It's like that's better. And Part Two is pretty much a overhaul change, which could bother some people. But yeah, but Black Clover, I don't see that much change. It's like maybe it got cleaner, maybe it got better expressions. Fine, that's cool.
It's
But it
definitely got a
never
lot
come
more
across
content
like
now than it had before. That's one of my
right,
favorite White Clover.
right. But it never come across like I got to get an overhaul change because I'm not digging the style anymore. I don't see that yet, and that's cool. Reading this, how like he's trying to keep changing up until it feels good to draw. So not only it works out better for fans to always adjust to the character design, but it also adjusts to him when it comes to drawing. You know, stuff like that is important. It's very key. It's like me a long time ago where I couldn't find the proper writing style in my review. Couldn't find the proper review style. And I try to do similar what a lot of people in YouTube has been doing. Then it come across that I don't feel that comfortable because it feels like it just doesn't feel my style. It doesn't feel me. It doesn't feel my way. I mean, everybody has their own way, and no, not everyone is unique. But the point is, you got to find your way. And if you don't find your way, if you don't do your way, and it's not your way, and you're still working on it, you probably don't feel as motivated. When I'm like, okay, I wanted to talk about this so badly. Like I wanted to talk about the theories I have in my head. So I'm gonna start writing. And then when you start writing, you don't stop. You're like, oh, I'm like 1 hour later, you got like 10 pages done because you were so into it. Because this is all in from your head, from your heart. But if you do it like, okay, so according to this, I gotta do the review there. I gotta review this chapter, but I gotta do it the formula how everybody does it. I'm not a fan of that, but I'm gonna try my best. And you probably take an hour to do 5 pages. Why? Because you're not feeling it. Because it's just not your style. Having your preference, having your style is key. And hearing what Tabata said is probably the reason why he's always having crazy amount of art going on because he's really enjoying it. And that's important. Like he said himself, that's important to him. And that's true for majority of all of us.
Especially that one chapter with Real, like where he like went all out, and you and I like spent a good like
Yeah.
5 or 6 minutes like what is this I Spy game that's going on right now? He's like
But that was the
he's like what is this like
go on.
having fun. Oh wait, what?
But that's a good take. The one I find it hilarious is the one he was like, "Man, you make a lot of good characters, and you know you haven't these characters haven't featured much into enemies until this current arc. It was brilliant. You know, I actually there you go. This is the one. I thought making good characters who hadn't been featured much into enemies in this current arc was brilliant, which I agree in many extent. Actually, I probably agree entirely. But I did find it hilarious. Oh, thank you. I do feel bad for some characters finally get their big moments only to lose, only to
That
then
was pretty
lose.
funny to hear. Actually,
I was like, wow, okay. See, I didn't take it like wow, this guy hates his own writing. It's more like that's hilarious because he's having fun. He's joking. He's like I said, he's more animated, I guess you could say in this case. He's more animated in this interview. I just find that answer hilarious. It's like, oh, I do feel bad when I make them lose in the end, though. So, yeah, kind of sounds like Chad from Bleach, doesn't it?
Oh my god, you're right.
Yeah, he got a glorious moment. Oh, and then he lose. Bad.
I mean, again, you so far, if you're comparing this interview to what, say, Kishi did back in 2013 when he talked about Madara, like, so do you have an idea as to how the people are? He's like, not really. I'm like, this is funny. I'm sure you do. Then we get to Madara's view. I'm like, holy shit, he was not joking about that. Wow.
Oops. We should have believed them. We didn't listen.
Right.
But like other things, there are like other questions. There's like a lot of fun ones. I thought you know, again, the whole elf being a bad guy, he pretty much clarified they're not really bad. They're good people. That's what he thinks. It's just the reason they become this because they were good people. Yeah. So there you go. I mean, it was clear for everybody, but if anybody didn't really see that, it's like you got it from the creator's mouth. Yeah, it's your clarification, even though he answered in a very, very fan way. But I think that's the appealing part. He answered like he's not answering like it's weird to say like this. He's not answering in a professional way. He's answering like a person way. If you, I don't know if that's a better way. I don't even know if that's a good way to put it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I know what you're trying to say.
It's like he's not speaking out of like a by the books business talk. You know, like, oh yes, they're not the bad guys. As you can see in the storyline, they're actually good people. They were good people until they were all
talking. That's it. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not yeah, it's like I thought it's interesting to note that since this came from Jump Festa, which is like 3 months ago now, in this interview, in this particular question that I was addressing, the way how he answered, he was like, you know, the elf, they aren't bad. The thing is, I'm not sure how much I should review, but should I say this?
I know.
There's something else out there. Huh?
No, I'm like, as soon as he said, should I say this? I'm like, oh, he wants to say it. Because when you think of where we are right now, I'm like, oh, he knows. Like,
yeah,
what it is. And he's like,
that's crazy.
I say this. It's like, part of me wants to just say it out loud, but I know I shouldn't.
Yeah. But that's the crazy part. Because, like, if this interview would have been released, translated to everybody around the time where Jump Festa was out, we would have been like, what they means by that? Ooh, we cannot wait for the twist. And then we see the devil himself. Oh! So that's interesting. I like that he actually hinted. But what's most so interesting to me is that by the time the arc is over, you'll see that they aren't bad. There's a real evil still out there. The elves are actually nice people. Now, 2 things you could come out with this. Again, this is addressed to the devil himself. We find out the elves, you know, they were never 100% evil, but they were definitely underwent the wrong forbidden magic. Pretty much the magic that is all relates to the devil himself. But the other one that you want to address is like, he's like, by the time the arc is over, it's like, oh, so that means you're definitely going to go more arcs. So if we would have heard this, we're like, oh, so this is not the final arcs. Woo! You know? Instead of like, oh, he said final arcs. Oh my God. Red alert! Red alert! No,
Red alert!
no wonder.
He was over. It's like
no wonder these characters.
5-chapter count. I'm like, no, wait, let's not give the 5-chapter countdown.
no wonder all these characters are getting the moments because it's all gonna end here. Lame.
I know, like especially when you think about that now, it's like, wow, holy shit, he knew. This man knew. Especially when you look at like this latest chapter that came out, like, oh shit, wow. And and this other question's funny too, right over here. Like the next question is like, will there be a character based on your dog appearing in the manga? And you're like, not as of now, but that might be a good idea. It might be really funny.
Hey, you put Charmy. Why not?
Yeah, right. He's like, though. See, this is the funny thing, because he's like, though Nero is a bit like her, I also have to think about that one. So, his dog's like Nero. Wow. It's rather funny, actually.
The other funny one. I'm sorry?
No, wait. Go on with what you were going to say.
No, the other funny one, the funny one is another funny one was the Finroll one.
Yeah, I was just about to get to that one, too.
Oh, okay, so you go ahead and explain that one.
No, you can say it.
Okay, so they asked, he got a haircut, but he doesn't have a girlfriend. Now the question is, will he get one? And Tabata was like, oh yeah, that's right. He might get one. He has a chance now with that one girl. I'm not sure what one girl he's talking about though. Do you know what he's talking about?
You remember the girl that he saved? It's like when the royal king was about to do something. Like he was like, "Oh yeah, let me show you why I'm a badass," and his magic like just went completely kapoop because he couldn't do anything. It's the chapter where Jack and Yami showed up.
What chapter was it again?
Let me check. So,
sure. So,
I can't remember now because.
But back to the answer. He was like, he has a chance with that one girl. I'm not sure what should I do yet. Now it would be messed up. He trolls him like, "Oh, you rescue me. That's nice and all, but I like this guy more." Yeah, like, oh, ouch, harsh. But it's like, what do you want him to end up with? It's funny. He was like, who do you want him to end up with? And I think it was like, what are the assistant? It was like, I just want him happy. What's wrong with that? And Tabata was like, I see. So maybe we will get him, justice, rather than stay Yamcha of the series. He's Yamcha. Look, if he gets a girlfriend, he's already better than Yamcha. Boom. Excited.
I know. And I remember Dragon Ball Z people were like, yeah, Yamcha Boma. And then all of a sudden it's like, nope. Pull that log. Okay. Finro, Yami, Jack the Ripper. What was her name? She's here somewhere.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I think it's I'm gonna butcher the name, but is it Fenice?
Fenice. Oh,
I think that's who he's referring to.
What was it? It was 179. You said 179?
Yeah. He actually here. I can send what she looks like, and you'll remember.
Yeah, sure. Is that the chapter where the king does his magic?
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
When he shows his ego even more. I was like, well, at least you have magic. So, but I just find it hilarious. Like the magic represents his ego way too perfectly. I was like, really now? Your light magic is just your shadow. This guy. Oh God. I remember you talking about now.
Yeah.
Hey, if it happens, hey, he did a bridal hold. So come on.
He did.
He did a bridal hold. That's a start. That's a start.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's all Tabata's now.
He's like, yeah, the chance to get one girl. I'm like, if it's her, I'll be fine with it.
Now, the most interesting one I got it from, in terms of like connecting about the whole storyline wise, is the next Wizard King talk.
And I know. Oh my god.
And this is funny to me because you could definitely tell Tabata was really dodgy in this one. But that's the game. That's the game he is. But the guy does bring a point. He feels like the interviewer feels that Noelle might become the next Wizard King. And, like, he don't want to get spoiled, but the way how he developed him from a guy who's a jackass to a guy who's nice now. And he's still developing, which is cool. I like redemption. At some scope, not like I killed so many people in the entire world, and you call me the coolest guy ever. Thank you. that's different. You're just crossing the line there. But with Noelle,
no, make it better. It's like we have a bond. I'm gonna go off and do my own thing, and then I'm gonna go swallow off into the darkness. It's like,
oh god.
And then I will destroy my entire home. I'm like, yeah, sure.
But
some road to redemption.
Like, I know a lot of people that has to forgive him because of all that trash talk he did. But he is a tsundere to the core.
He is.
But I'm willing to give him a chance, and I can see him developing as a better character more and more. So far, he's slowly winning me, so that's good. That's good on that note. But going back to the question with the whole Noelle, is he going to be the next Wizard King? Am I right? And Tabata just go like, should I review this? Can I review this? What should I do? Can I say this? I'll tell you when if I want to, if you want me to.
I'm like, he already knows something. He already knows.
He's like, I mean, it's clear he knows who he's going to choose, but it's just funny. It's like, I'll tell you if you want me to. It's like, on second thought, I don't want to be spoiled. I'm good. And then they just started having a game. We're like, okay, so how about this? Noelle or Fogolian? Who's going to be the Wizard King? Who would be a good Wizard King? In fact, I'll throw in Yami. It's like, oh, then this just got complicated. And I was like, oh, but Yami's my favorite. Oh, thank you very much. I was like, yeah, same here, John. We're bro team.
Bro team. But what does that tell you, though? Just given that whole scene, he's like, oh, can I reveal this? Should I reveal this? What should I do? I can say this. I'm like Tabata.
Oh man. But I think he's cluing us in, at least candidate wise. I think it felt like he just saw 3 candidates right there, like Noelle, Fogolian, and Yami. I think those are the 3 ones that we have to think over. Like, who's going to be the Wizard King next? Like, yeah, I know this is a different question he asked, kind of, but the whole, who would be a good Wizard King? Now, Yami being good Wizard King, well, good luck with that one, even though I like Yami, but still. I think when it's all said and done, I feel like he dropped hints. So like, you gotta think either those 3. Now, who end up being the Wizard King? My guess still will be Noelle in a sense, because like, he's from a royal family. He's from a royal family. I mean, I know Fogolian has finally awakened, which is awesome, but probably he's in Vermilion. He just woke up. He's Vermilion, and maybe he probably declined if he does get an invitation first. Maybe he would decline because he probably, he doesn't have that self pride. That he has a pride, but not a pride of like, I want to be the Wizard King or like that, or at least the way how he's gonna get it. Because the Wizard King has fallen. He's dead, unfortunately. Now, who's going to take it? How it's going to be handled? How it's going to work? We don't know. Noelle, again, maybe the idea that he's being a good guy now is a way to start to... I don't know if I should want to compare it to another series. It's kind of like the other series. The other series that had a prick of a guy. And then he becomes like the high status. He has to change up his character. He has to be respectful. So maybe that's the same case with Noelle. Only he's not a father, but a brother, a sibling, a family who carries a name, a huge name. So that's very important for them. Maybe with Noelle being the king could give him more path to develop as a person, which I will be all in for one. Because, like, again, the only bad thing he has done is really being a douchebag in terms of like bad mouthing, and especially for Noelle, which
You
we all
know,
like.
yeah.
And Noelle pretty much proven wrong. Like, look at that, I'm better than you now. Wow, she didn't say that, but it's like, look at me, I'm the real deal. Probably even better than you. But again, she didn't say that, but you get the idea. My point is, Noelle is undergoing a character growth. Now, unless he dies here, then okay, we got Fogolian and Yami. Who's next? I'm not trying to put Jack the Ripper, but that would be interesting.
I'm gonna say Jack the Ripper. It's like, no, if Jack
Or
the
that-
Ripper gets in there, then we are screwed.
Oh no, no, but everything's all cut. There was another one. What's that person's name? Oh, another one that would not work out would be what's her name? Ooh, I forgot her name. Damn it. I'll find out right now.
Is it Mariliana?
Not her, but she would be cool. But I don't think she's like all into that, like status, like stay in your king status placement. Maybe she's all like, she want to build up a team. She want to be like, she's raw, I guess you could say. But I'm trying to find that character name.
Is it Dorothy?
The one with is it Dorothy? The one with the imagination, right?
Imagining. I think that's it. Yeah, because
remember? Huh?
Yeah, we talked about this. It was the one chapter where
Dorothy. Yes, Dorothy.
Yeah,
it was Dorothy. It'd be amusing if she becomes the Wizard King, just because the fact that she would be like very peppy.
I know.
Like, yeah, good job, everyone. Good job.
Like, what?
Good job, good job, Clover Kingdom. You have saved the day. Like, wow, okay. This has gone very cheery, I guess. Like that chapter still throws me off. Like, what the hell?
I don't know. You think you're gonna get this like very ominous Uno Hana type of character where, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, we did this Black Bulls. Just call me Big Sisso Netch." I'm like, what? I'm like, that was not what I was expecting.
But yeah, I think those are the three candidates. If you had to guess, who will you pick?
Out of the three, I'd probably say Noelle. Kind of just going off from like what he's implying, like the fact that he's like, "Oh, I want to say this. I don't know if I should." Like, that's like my only like real indication of like just saying that. Like the fact that he immediately like jumped at the question, like, "Oh, I want to, but I don't know." So, I mean, look, if it's Jack, then yeah, like I said, we are screwed.
Jack. Oh god.
And he is teamed up with Noelle right now.
Good point. Well, like I said, it all depends on this aftermath. Like, maybe Noelle would die here, and then like, well, forget about him now. Or if Fogolian dies, like, damn it, it looked like you almost died. Now you're officially dead.
Yeah, right.
And then Yami, God, and then if Yami dies, well, the series dies too. So there's that. Okay, that's just bias. No, that would throw me off completely. Like, wow, you kill Yami. And here's another one. Well, this is still going on, but the last part that still baffled me is the other one. So, why is the writing in Asta Grimoire different from everyone else? Huh? Can I review that? Because the text is in demon language. That's why only his is different. I was like, I feel like there's more to it.
Oh yeah,
definitely more to it.
I think there's more to it too. Just from that alone.
Yeah, definitely more to that. But this whole interview, really fun read. If you haven't read it, definitely go for it, because you can see how swell this guy Tabata really is. Like he's had a lot of fun time in this interview. But it's actually pretty interesting to learn a lot of other things, especially where we would have a hint of a big revelation, which ends up being the devil now. Again, this interview came from Jump Festa, which is in December. I forgot where December, the mid-December. That's 3 months ago
Roughly,
now.
yeah, 3 months
We
ago.
already saw, yeah, so we already saw the big giant plot twist, the big giant WTF moments from this series. So some of them has been answered, some of them has yet to be answered, such as the Wizard King. Who will be the next Wizard King? What's the story behind Asta's Grimoire? Why is it like, demon? Like, yeah, it's a demon language, but what's more to that story? We haven't found out yet, but we're gonna find out more. Other than that, there's a lot of funny moments, a lot of fun things to read up on. Hey, maybe we'll probably see that dog. Maybe. I don't know. we see Charmy. We see Charmy that's supposed to be reflected to his wife. So you never know, anyone. You never know.
I want to know what his wife thinks about Charmy. That would be funny. Just getting her viewpoint.
I know, right? Has he ever said what he sees himself as?
If I remember correctly, I think he says he sees himself as Asta in terms of like being so motivated into like working hard. That's the only thing I remember hearing about. So Asta and Charmy. No. No.
Oh no. We messed up the pairing. Even though I support Charmy and Yuno, damn it. Don't mess it up.
It's like, but you see there's a parallel because Tabata is Asta and his wife is Charmy. I'm like, maybe.
I still remember how Kishimoto's wife got mad. I was like, oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that too. I was like, whoa.
It's like, well, what do you expect?
After that little ending that the series got, whoo.
Hey, look, we're trying to bring the pairing war, but we're just saying.
From the wife's end of things. That's one thing. But that's actually all that the interview has. I mean, like I said, there's actually some really fun tidbits in here that you guys can check out too. Like, especially like the whole little bit with Marliana as a character. I thought that was kind of fun too, to get some insight on that. But I mean, other than that, like, overall, I will say the interview was like really insightful, and it is kind of like really cool to see like what it is Tabata has in mind. And again, this was like from a few months ago, and we just got this recently. So to see what's been going on in the story thus far, and like, what's to come is honestly going to be some of the most craziest things I think the series is going to have, and I honestly can't wait. But what about you, Sparta?
I can't wait. I already said it before with the chapter review. I just cannot wait for what's to come with this series, what's to come with this arc, the aftermath, all the revelations. Just continue to impress me. Well, I'm trying not to be high and mighty with that line, but all I'm saying is just continue to impress your fans, because your fans are really digging the story, digging the development, digging everything that you have been putting out. So keep up. We'll be behind you.
And with that being said, you guys, I think that's pretty much it when it comes to this podcast again. Very great, an amazing plus chapter again. And a very insightful interview from Tabata himself. And it really says a lot about how Tabata is as a person and how he ultimately feels about his overall story, which I think was probably the biggest highlight out of everything. And in saying that, you guys, this is pretty much all we've got for the podcast today. Sparta, it was really great having you on board again for another Black Clover podcast, and especially like going in depth with the Jump Fest interview.
Yes, I really appreciate the invitation. I appreciate that we talk about more of the series, because the series has been stellar so far. It was pretty fun. Thank you for the invitation. I can't wait for the next one.
Same. And till then, you guys, that's pretty much it. I'm LuckyRave.
Sparda3g.
And we will catch you guys next time when we find out where exactly Nozelle's been, now that he has officially appeared. Later.